Night of Champions took place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at Kingdom Arena. The show started off with some superstar arrivals, then Jey Uso did his heat entrance through the crowd. Femi came out next, and we got our opening matchup, the King of the Ring Finals, Jey Uso versus Femi. So Jey got a lot of offense in, and actually no-sold the first Uso splash, but then Jey would hit two more. Kicked out. And with the way Jey was kind of controlling the match, I thought it was pretty obvious was going to win. One thing that was very upsetting, and this was continuous throughout the entire show, was the commentary was just off. Something was wrong. Particularly Michael Cole, not Corey Graves, but with Michael Cole, you could hear his voice, but it was like he wasn't mic'd, and it was really distracting. But in this match, eventually hit the fall from grace. He got the win. No Brock Lesnar appearance. Instead, pins Jey Uso clean in the middle of the ring. He is your 2026 King of the Ring. Definitely the second biggest win of his career. The first is still the win over Brock at WrestleMania, even though he didn't retire him. This win, it's a King of the Ring. It's important to win something like that sets you up for a match at SummerSlam for a world title. So it is his second biggest win. And he defeats Jey Uso. Afterwards, Nick Aldis presented the crown to Femi. He is now king. And in addition to being the ruler, he's the king of the ring. And he shouldn't wear the crown ever. He's just better. He should still be the ruler. I think it's better. It fits him better. But he can be also the king for at least a month. So Byron Saxton interviews him afterwards. It's notable that he did not make his decision. So we do not know yet who Femi is going to face at SummerSlam. I think it should be Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is going to appear on Raw this Monday. So I hope it's that. We got a commercial break. Then they did a SummerSlam advertisement. It's in about 5 weeks. So Danhausen was out next. This is for the ESPN audience because it was airing on ESPN. I, of course, was watching on Netflix in Canada, but for those who are watching on ESPN, it was designed because Danhausen is heavily now associated with the New York Knicks, who just won the NBA championship, and sports in general, it seems like, because he keeps cursing teams. So that's why they had him on ESPN. Then he was interrupted by Liv Morgan. She says he owes the Judgment Day money, and in response, Danhausen curses Liv Morgan. Then she slaps him. Liv then finishes making up her entrance to the ring with the Trouble song. Then Io Sky came out to a pop, definitely a pro-Io crowd, and we get the Queen of the Ring finals up next. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. So Io hit a crossbody off the barricade. Liv got the heat for a while. Again, Michael Cole's mic, man, it sounded so loud. It's like he's yelling at you. And it's like, if you ever had bad mic issues, I've heard a podcast with audio issues, that's what it's like. Io eventually rallied. She hit a springboard moonsault to the outside, which looked good. They did an injury angle where Io fell off the turnbuckle to the ground, but instead of landing on the floor, she landed on the steps. And she sold her knee, and Liv worked on the knee for a while. She put Io on the half Boston crab. That's how she submitted Charlotte on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. And the whole thing was Io working over the knee, but eventually, or Liv working over Io's knee, but eventually Io would rally. She hit a Spanish fly onto Liv Morgan from the top. Then she went to the top again, hit the over the moonsault onto Liv Morgan. 1, 2, 3. Io Sky wins the Queen of the Ring. Nick Aldis presented her with the crown. Then Byron Saxton interviewed her, and she made her decision quickly, unlike Oba, to face Liv Morgan at SummerSlam for the Women's World Championship. So we got our first match for SummerSlam officially confirmed. Unfortunately, we're not getting Rhea Ripley against Io Sky, but Io Sky goes to SummerSlam anyways. I'm not sure if she's going to beat Liv, but one thing we do know is she is now the 4th Queen of the Ring. Glad Io got this win, and I was a little bit worried when Rhea left for Raw to go on SmackDown that she might get lost in the shuffle because she's so closely tied to Rhea, but I'm glad she won Queen of the Ring, and this was the best decision, so she's going to SummerSlam. We got a video package for the triple threat, then the steel cage was lowered down. Seth Rollins was out next. He threw kendo sticks, chairs, and tables into the ring. Then Bron Breakker was out next. He threw chairs, a kendo stick, and a trash can into the ring for the steel cage match. So this tells you right away we're going to get a WWE plunder match, and that's exactly what this was in the steel cage match with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. The fans I thought were pretty bad tonight, I was watching during the afternoon, but I felt they were off. Like, they were not interested too much for a lot of the matches. Some of them they were into, but they had their fireflies out, so it seemed like they just didn't care that much. Braun hit a Frankensteiner onto a bunch of chairs that were in the ring. And then the biggest issue I have with these matches, these plunder matches, when WWE does this, they have the weapons thrown in very early so you can know which weapons are going to be used, especially tables. So you can see a table set up in the corner or on the outside. Here you have like 3 tables or 2 tables, I believe, in the ring. And this hurts the match because once you see that the tables haven't been used and they haven't gone through the tables yet, you just know they're going to use it eventually. So when they have near falls without them being broken yet, you can't buy into it. And this is a huge issue. I'm really sick of this. They need to fix this. Don't do the near falls until you've smashed through the tables. Or, fine, you want to do the near falls first. Don't bring out the tables till later. When you bring out the tables early on, it tells the fans, it tells the viewers that we're going to see a table spot. So when you haven't done the table spot, it's hard to buy into the near falls. They need to fix this. I'm really annoys the hell out of me. Anyway, later in the match, they would fight to the top of the cage. Both guys were sitting down, and then Seth would get to the top turnbuckle, and as Braun hanging from the top of the cage, Seth hit a superplex through the table, a table that was set up, and that looked really good. That was definitely the best spot of the match. And Braun, by the way, was busted open from the eye, and I don't think his eyeball was cut. I think it was a cut near his eye, and he was bleeding pretty bad here. There was some good blood here. Braun was busted. Seth actually kicked out of a spear early on, then he kicked out of a second spear from Braun. Then you had a part where Braun was trying to get out of the cage. Seth put a sleeper. Braun whipped the cage door into Seth's head. Then I think Braun went for a spear, but he missed it, and he went through a corner table. And it looked pretty rough because the table was kind of closer to the corner, so there wasn't much give. And so like he took it pretty bad. It looked like it hurt. Seth then hit a curb stomp, but Braun kicked out. And then Seth hit an avalanche curb stomp from the top rope, pins him 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins defeats Bron Breakker. So when Seth with this win like that, you assume he's going to get a big match at SummerSlam. But the thing is, it looks like Oba is going to be the one to challenge Roman Reigns, unless he's going to face the other champion, which we'll get to later. But I think it's Oba Roman, so I'm not sure like where's Seth going to go from here. But from a win like this, winning the feud with Bron Breakker, defeating him, he's going to get a big match at SummerSlam, probably a title match. Then we got a commercial break. Ricky Saints was out next, and Trick Williams came out with Lil Yachty, who made the trip. And we get the United States Championship on the line. Trick Williams defending his title against Ricky Saints. So Ricky got Yachty ejected early on by doing his best Eddie Guerrero impression. I thought the match was pretty mediocre, as Trick is just very average in the ring. Trick hit the trick shot for the win. Look, there's no need for Lil Yachty anymore. Ricky went for a cheap shot on Trick, but then he got hit with the right hand. Then Lil Yachty appeared again with the kendo stick. He hit Ricky with the kendo stick, and then he hit the people's elbow on Ricky Saints, of course, to embarrass him. Really, he has to hit the fucking people's elbow. I mean, he can hit that move, but the guy who actually made that move and who made that move famous can never make an appearance. In fact, they don't even mention him ever, rarely. But I'll say this. Lil Yachty's people's elbow was a little bit better than Snoop Dogg's embarrassment of a people's elbow at WrestleMania 39 a few years ago. Jade Cargill was walking backstage, as was Tiffany Stratton heading to the ring for their match. Then we got a commercial break. There was awkward production issues, by the way. It was weird. Like they'd go back to the arena and you can see a video package playing, but then it's like they're playing the commercial. Maybe it's the ESPN feed. I don't know. Something was just weird with that. Maybe it was just watching it on Netflix. Maybe that was the issue, but there was just something really off. They promote WrestleMania 43, and then they announce Roman Reigns on Raw this Monday. This made me think, Oba's going to come out, challenge Roman Reigns, and we're going to get the big match for SummerSlam. I don't know what's going on with Brock Lesnar, too, because he didn't make an appearance. I thought he would at least attack Oba, even if it didn't cost him the match, but there was no Brock Lesnar on this show. Jade Cargill was out next, followed by Tiffany Stratton. So they had a bunch of matches last year, and none of them were very good. And we get the Women's United States Championship, Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill, and this was also not very good. The fans just didn't care about this match. They got like no heat from the crowd here. B-Fab and Misha interfered. Then Chelsea Green appeared from under the ring, and she interfered on behalf of Tiffany Stratton, taking out Misha and B-Fab, the baddies. I think that's what they're called now. And then what happened was Chelsea actually she put the belt in the ring. So I think she grabbed the Women's United States Championship, and Jade grabbed her, and then like Chelsea dropped the belt, so the belt was in the ring. And like Jade takes out Chelsea after Chelsea took out Misha and B-Fab. And the ref's distracted. Jade goes to grab the belt, but then Charlotte Flair appears. She grabs the Women's United States Championship, and she hits Jade over the head with the belt, dropping Jade to the ground. And then Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsaults ever on Jade. Pins her 1, 2, 3. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill, retains the Women's United States Championship. So that sets up SummerSlam, Charlotte and Jade for SummerSlam. They had Charlotte and Chelsea make the trip to Saudi Arabia, but I'm glad they let Alexa Bliss stay home with her daughter. Didn't make her do the big trip, so I'm happy they did that. I don't know what's going to happen. I think maybe they might attack Alexa again, the baddies with Jade. I think they're going to take out Alexa to get to Charlotte, because I don't think Alexa's going to get a match at SummerSlam. I'm not sure Tiffany Stratton's going to get a match. Probably not. And I don't know what Tiffany's going to do now, because Blake Monroe's going to be feuding with Julia, so I don't know who Tiffany goes up against next, but Jade and Charlotte's official for SummerSlam. We don't know who Rhea Ripley's opponent's going to be, by the way. We don't know if Rhea's going to be on the show because of her knee injury. Like, there's been no mention of her. Hopefully Rhea's okay, but it'd be a shame if she's going to miss SummerSlam. But, yeah, Jade and Charlotte set up now. And then we got another break. And then we went to the panelists. I guess they didn't even make the trip. It looked like they were in a WWE studio in Stamford. So, yeah, I'm glad I missed the countdown show, by the way. Usually I always watch the countdown shows, didn't care to watch it this time because of the early start, and I'm glad I missed it. Sami Zayn was out next to a big pop. He was very over, came out in the garb. They loved him. Then Gunther came out to heat, and then Cody Rhodes came out, and the fans kind of gave him a mixed reaction. They sang his song at first, but then he was kind of booed during the ring introductions, and we get the main event. The Undisputed WWE Championship defended in a triple threat match. Cody Rhodes defends his championship against Gunther and Sami Zayn, who of course was the fan favorite in this match. And early on, the fans are doing the Firefly gimmick, but it's more like they're into the match. I think they do the Firefly gimmick now just to show that they're excited. Cody Rhodes hit a crossroads onto Gunther, but Sami pulled the referee out. Then Sami hit the haluva kick to Gunther, but Cody pulled the referee out. So they did two kind of spots where Cody and Sami costing each other the championship. Later, they would go to the outside, and that's where the match really picked up. Cody hit a backdrop onto Sami Zayn, and he went through the announce table, and it actually looked really good, I thought. And then Gunther powerbombs Cody Rhodes onto the announce booth, but it doesn't break, and Gunther was not just going to let it stand, so he got pissed off. He then gets Cody up and hits a second powerbomb, and this one looked like it hurt more, and he drives him right through the announce booth, and that's when I was really getting into this match. I was thinking, you know what, this is fucking good. I'm into this now. This is exciting. Gunther throws Cody into the ring, and he goes to finish him off with the sleeper hold, and I have to point this out one last time for the show. Michael Cole's mic was just so off. It's so distracting. He's shouting, and his voice is already obnoxious as it is. So it's like he's like screaming at you with like no mic, and it sounds so fucking bad. Eventually, Sami stops Cody's hand from going down. Later, Gunther was on the outside. Sami hits a haluva kick. He goes to hit the haluva kick on Cody, but Gunther he kind of like gets in the way, almost like in football when they intercept you. That's kind of what happened here. Like he intercepts Sami Zayn, puts him in the sleeper hold. And then Cody stops it. I think he hits a double crossroads onto both Gunther and Sami. So that takes Gunther out because he kept Sami up for the crossroads, and Gunther just went to the outside. Cody brings up Sami to hit a second consecutive crossroads, but when he went to hit it, Sami countered it into a roll-up. and he pins Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. Yes, you heard that right. Sami Zayn rolls up Cody Rhodes as he was going to hit the crossroads. He pins Cody. 1, 2, 3. Your new WWE champion, Sami Zayn. Wow. The fans were genuinely surprised by this. A lot of people thought Sami could win. I thought Cody was still going to win. But it didn't happen. Cody didn't retain. Sami did it. He is the champion. He is your new undisputed WWE champion. He celebrated with the fans. It was a great moment. Congratulations, Sami. I was not expecting this. A lot of people picked Sami to win. I thought Cody was still going to win. I'm surprised they actually did it here. They put the belt on Sami Zayn. I didn't think Sami Zayn would ever be WWE champion. I thought the one time he could have been champion, or I didn't think he would ever win actually, but I thought the time when he was like red hot was like 3.5 years ago when he challenged Roman Reigns for the championship at Elimination Chamber in Montreal in 2023. He lost. Sami was red hot. That was when he was in the bloodline and they turned on him. And they had that great angle at the Rumble that year. And then like he failed to beat Roman in Montreal. That's where he was born. Like you would think, oh, that's his hometown. That's perfect for him. And here's the thing: 3.5 years later, Sami Zayn had momentum. He had a really good gimmick now with the ride or die. This time, he was over, but like not to the extent he was last time. However, it was his best opportunity to win the championship, and if he failed this time, I didn't think it would happen again because I was thinking, you know what, he's not gonna get another chance. He's probably not gonna be in like a major world championship match at WrestleMania next year, which is in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure if he would have gone a championship match because it's WrestleMania. So, Night of Champions this time, this is his best shot since that time against Roman, and they did it this time. They put the championship on Sami Zayn. It was a great moment. I'm really happy for him. I'm excited to see what he does next. I don't know if he's going to have a long title reign. Probably not. But I'm still glad they did this. It shakes things up at least. And you can't help but feel happy for the guy. He's busted his ass for so many years. I remember him in like 2013, watching him on NXT, his feud with Cesaro and stuff. He was just a great wrestler. And a lot of people I didn't know what he would do on the main roster, but he got over. It took him a little bit longer. Kevin Owens had more success early on, his friend. And Kevin was champion, I think, 10 years ago at this time. Or maybe not 10 years ago. Like, I think in August of 2016 is when Kevin Owens won back then, the Universal Championship. So he's been world champion. It took Sami a lot longer to get over as much, but he did. And it happened, you know. He is your new undisputed WWE champion. I thought it was great, and what a great moment. Congratulations, Sami.